Hi, this is Ishfaq Khan and this is QuickBook desktop course for beginners. So this will be a complete session from starting to setting up your company until to the reports. So all these things are going to discuss in this session. Let's start from the very beginning. Once you will install QuickBook, you will have this desktop icon. Just double click on it and then you will be shown with this option. You will click on Express Start and here you will give the name of your company. And here you will write the industry that is related to you. General product based business. And then here you have to select the type. I'll select just sole proprietorship and click continue. Just select 00 and from here I'm gonna select United Arab Emirates and I will click on create company file. So in this way you can create company file. Alright, you have already created your company, and if you have made any mistake during creation of the company, mistake in the names or any spelling mistake, what you can do is that you can click on company at the top and go down and click on company information. Once you will click on company information, you can make the changes over here. Okay, so in this way you can amend the information as well. So this is how you create a company in QuickBook desktop. Once you have created the company, the next step is we are gonna go and do some preferences settings. So at this moment I am gonna do only the necessary preference settings that you have to do. So for the preferences setting, you have to click on edit, then click on preferences, and from here you will click on accounting and click on company preferences, and from here make sure that you have enabled use accounts number and require account. And once you have clicked over here, after that if you have to click on class. Class is an option which is used to classify the transaction according to your need. Normally we use location as class to track the transactions in QuickBook desktop, but you can also use this class function for any other division of data or any other classification of your data. You can also assign it to some departments or any other division. Okay, you will click on OK. The next thing is just to go to edit, click on preferences, and this time you will click on inventory items and inventory. Click on company preferences and make sure that you have enabled this inventory and purchase orders are active. After that, if you use the units of measure, you will enable this as well. So I will just click enable and I use single unit of measurement. So I just click finish. And once you will click OK, it is also settled. Then again, you will go click on edit, click on preferences and scroll down, as we have to use the estimates as well. So I'm gonna click it as well, and then you can manage your multiple currencies over here as well. I'm not gonna do in this. Will go down and you will enable the sales tax if you are charging the sales tax. So these are some basic and necessary preferences settings that you have to do once you have installed QuickBook created your company. After the creation of the company, you do these basic preferences settings. So once you are done with that, click OK. All right, so after the preference setting, we come up for the very important step of your company, and that is very important. This is the creation of chart of account. For creating chart of account, you have to understand your entity, you have to understand the nature of your business and what kind of reports management requires. So I'm gonna make a sample chart of account for you so you can understand the concept. As far as your own company is concerned, you can manage or edit it according to your own use or according to nature of your business. So let's start making chart of account. Chart of account, you have to assign some code to your account. accounts. So if you see over here, we have different accounts. What I do normally, I just divide this chart of account into 5 major groups: asset, liability, expense and revenue. All the assets should start from 1000, liabilities 2000, and so on and so forth. So you can use this model as well. So let me start making chart of account, so this will make sense for you. Now for creating chart of account, you will click on list and then you will click on chart of account. So once you will click on chart of account, you will get this by default chart of account according to the industry that you have choose when you were creating your company file. So this is how you will get the chart of account. Next step is just delete all irrelevant accounts in your chart of account, and then you can create the accounts according to your own need. So you can just right click and click on delete. You can delete an account in this way. I will create chart of account in this way. I have sales, then I have cost of goods sold, then after that I have general and admin expenses. Within general and admin expenses, I have multiple expenses, and my cost of goods sold includes the inventory that I am selling. So let's do it. First of all, I'm gonna create sales account. So my sale account is already created. Okay, so now I'll just change the number from here. So my sales or revenue number starts from 4000, so I'm gonna give it 4010 4010. Okay, save and close. Similarly, I have cost of goods sold account. I will just delete these. Okay, for creating an account, you will go down and you will just click on account and then click on new, and from here you will choose the type of account that it relates to. In this case, I am gonna choose cost of goods sold account, so I'll choose from here cost of goods sold and click OK. And from here I'm gonna give it the number. So to the expenses, I will start from 3000, so I'm gonna give it 3010 per cost of items sold. Okay, and I'll just click save and close. So now I have sale account, I have cost of goods sold account, and then I have general and admin expenses, and under the general and admin expenses I have multiple accounts. So how I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna show it right now. I will go to the click, I will click and create new account. I'll click and create new account with the type as expense, and I'm gonna give an admin expenses. Okay, and the number is for expenses I am allocating 3000, so 3020 because 3010 I already allocated. Now under this I have to create, you have two options: either just amend all these and make it under this, or you can just delete all these and create altogether new one. So I'm just gonna edit it 3030, and I will make sub account of this general and admin. Okay, just click over here and make it general and admin. So in this way you can see that I have general and admin, and then I have expenses underneath these. Okay, so suppose I don't have this account, I'll just delete it, and I have this one. I will just go and edit it 3040 and make it sub account of general and admin. Alright, in this way we have created general and admin expenses, and underneath all these expenses I have created underneath. So let's go and see how it will look like. We will just go to the reports in the company financial, in the profit and loss account, and click on customized, and from here all. So this will look like this. If you can see that we have sale, and then cost of goods sold, and then we have expenses, and then the expenses I have general and admin, and beneath this I have all these arranged. So this is how our chart of account will look like. Similarly, you will go to the chart of account and you will create for the assets and liabilities. Alright, Now let's see how we will create items in QuickBooks. For that, click on list. In the list you will click on item list, and at the bottom you can see that there is an option of item. Just click over here and click on new. So once you will click on new, you will get different options for creating items. So we are creating inventory item, so we are gonna click on inventory part. Here I will write the name of the item. From here we will choose the units of measure. Here we will write the cost of the item and expected sale price. We can change this cost price and sale price if there is any difference when we are entering the bills or invoices. And this is linked with the cost of goods sold account. And similarly we have to link it with our revenue account, which is in this case sales. You can enter opening balance over here. You can enter quantity and value if you want to enter as well, and then click on OK. So in this way an item is created. Similarly I will create 2 more items and then we will proceed forward. Alright, so I have created these 3 inventory items. Now if you are providing some services and you want to create item for that, so you can also do that just by clicking over item, then click on new, and from here you will choose the service and you will write the name of your service over here, and then you can create, you will write the name of your service over here unit, and you will link it to the revenue account. Suppose we are providing some service consulting, and unit of is hours. Just add over here. And from here you will choose the relevant revenue account to that service, so which is other income in our case. Just click OK. So this is how you can create items for inventory and for services as well. Alright, now let's move toward the next point, which is creating vendors, purchasing, purchase orders. Okay. Now if you want to create a new vendor or supplier, what you will do, you will just click on vendor and then click on vendor center. Once you will be in the vendor center, then you will click on new vendor. Once you will click on new vendor, here you will again click on new vendor, and then this form will come up. You will write the name of the vendor. Suppose this is the name of the vendor is vendor 1, and you will fill all other relevant information and click OK. Let's create another vendor. Simple way of creating the vendors. Now let's purchase items from the vendor so that we can know the process of purchasing. So for purchase, it is very simple. Just click on vendor and you will click on enter bills. Once you will click on enter bills, from here you will select the relevant vendor from which you are purchasing. Suppose we are purchasing from vendor 1. Then you will come up with this bill, and from here you will choose the item that you are purchasing. So, and we are purchasing 100 each. Okay. And we want to assign a class to that vendor as well. For creating a class, what you can do is that you can go to the list and then you can click on class list, and then from here you can create a new class. Or simply, if you come across here and you want to create the class immediately just click over here, and from here once you click the new, you can create a class. Okay, give the bill number over here and click save and close. Alright, now what happened is we have purchased the inventory. Let's see the effect of that inventory which we have purchased. If you go to the reports in the company financial, in the balance sheet, you can see that our inventory asset has increased 34,500, and similarly our account payable has increased with the same amount. This shows that on one end our inventory has increased, on the other end our liability has increased. Okay, what has happened over here is inventory asset account is debited and account payable is credited. So this purchase of inventory will not affect your profit and loss account. Okay, all right, now if you want to see the detail of this inventory item, cost and value wise, how you are going to do that, just click on reports and go down. You will click on inventory and then you will click on inventory valuation detail. Once you will click on this, then you will set your date, and now you can see that we have item wise detail. This is item number 1, this is item number 2, this is item number 3. The cost is over here, the quantity in hand is over here, and value is over here. And this quantity in hand will change once you will purchase, sell or return the inventory, or any other adjustment is done with the inventory items. So in this method we have directly purchased the inventory without creating any purchase order. Now let's see if you have to create the purchase order first and then you have to receive the inventory, how we are gonna do that. So let's do it. For creating purchase order, you will just click on vendors, then click on create purchase order, and from here you will choose the vendor. Suppose from vendor 2 we have purchased, so we will select the items for which we are creating purchase order. Okay, so then you will fill the other relevant detail and click save and close. Now once I have created the purchase order, if you will go to the reports in the company financial, in the balance sheet or in the profit and loss account, this purchase order will not affect, because purchase order is our non-posting items. So purchase order does not affect your financial statement. It is just a request for purchase. Okay, as we have already placed the purchase order, now let's record the purchases against that purchase order. How we are gonna do that? Let's do it. You will just click on vendor and you will click on enter bills. Once you will click on enter bill, from here you will select the vendor. Once you will select the vendor, you will automatically get this option that you have already a purchase order with this vendor. You will click on yes. Once you will click on yes, you will come up, you will be shown the relevant purchase orders. Once you will click OK, the whole purchase order will be shown to you. Now if you have received the full quantity, you will click OK. You will not make any changes. However, if you have not received the full quantity, suppose from 250 we have received only 170, so you will change it accordingly and value will be changed accordingly. And after filling the data, just click save and close. Now if you go to the reports and the company financial and the balance sheet, you can see that our value of the inventory asset and account payable has changed. Similarly, if you go to the reports in the inventory valuation detail, you can see that our items are increased. So this was the bill that we have directly received, and these are the items which we have received against our purchase order. Alright, now let's pay these vendor. When you are paying the vendors, it is very simple. Just click on vendor center and select your relevant vendor, right click on that and click pay bills. From here you will choose your selected vendors and payments, and you can also change the payment amount accordingly, how much you want to pay. Just select that, and then suppose the second vendor we want to pay only 40,000, and then you will select the date from here, and from here you will select your relevant bank account and click pay bills, and done. Now if you go to the reports in the company financial, in the balance sheet, you can see that you have now account payable only for 2,000. But if you want to see the detail of each vendor and their status, how you are going to do that, just click on reports, go to vendor and payable and click on vendor balance summary. So once you will open it, you can see that once you will open it, just click on customize, and from here choose debit and then choose credit. Now you can see that you are getting detail vendor wise. So as far as vendor number 1 is concerned, we received the item 34,500 and we paid 34,500. And similarly for the vendor 2, we received the items worth 42,000 but we have paid only 40,000. So total balance remaining is 2,000. Record. Now let's see how we will record purchase return. If you have any purchase return, what you are going to do is just simply go to the vendors and click on enter bills. Once you will click on enter bill, you will select the relevant vendor to whom you are returning. Suppose to the vendor 2 we are returning some products, so you will select the vendor 2. Okay, and then as we have existing option, so as we have PO, but this time we are not gonna select the PO, just click no because we are returning the goods again. Now you will click on here at the top, you will see that credit. Just click over here because we are recording purchase return. From here you will select the item that we are returning. Suppose we are returning 20 items of this and 3 items of this. Write the reference number over here, click save and close. Now if you go to the reports and the vendor and balance summary, in the vendor and balance detail, you can see that our purchase return has been recorded. And now previously we were supposed to pay him 2,000, but now this amount has decreased to 50. Now similarly, if you want to see the status for the inventory, you will go to the reports, go down and click on inventory valuation detail. Valuation detail, you can see that item number, as far as item number 1 is concerned, these two are the addition. First we have purchased 100, then 170, and 20 items are returned. And similarly for item number 3, you can see that we purchased 175 and with negatives, and you can see that we have returned 3 items. So their quantity and value is adjusted accordingly. Alright, now if we want to see the statement of a particular vendor, how we are going to do that, just click on reports, click on vendor and balance, and from here once you will select the vendor balance detail, you will see the vendor wise detail. So this is a statement of vendor number 1, this is a statement of vendor number 2. At the bottom click Here you can see separately as well. Now adjusting the inventory items. Sometime what happens, we have to make adjustment in inventory with one reason or the other. So how to do that? For that you will just click on vendors and then go down and click on inventory activities. Then you will go to the adjust quantity or value in hand. Once you will click over here, you will get this form. From here you will choose your adjustment account. Suppose you want to charge that inventory adjustment to cost of goods sold, you will select from here, and from here you will select your relevant project class, and here you will choose your inventory item. So I want to charge this 5 items to cost of goods sold, so new quantity would be 245. So here if you see over here, -5 difference will be charged to cost of goods sold account, and my new quantity would be 245. Okay, now let's see the effects. Go to the reports, the company financial, profit and loss account. You can see that the cost of those 5 goods has been charged to cost of goods sold account. Okay, the next thing is, if you go to the reports and go down inventory valuation detail, you can see over here is this inventory. After that, this inventory adjust -5, my inventory value, my inventory items are decreased to 245 because I have adjusted these 5 items to cost of goods sold. Okay, and similarly if you go to the company financial, in the balance sheet, my inventory, the valuation of my inventory asset is also decreased with 5 items. Alright, now let's see how we will work with the customers and projects or jobs. For creating customer, you will just click on customer center. Now for creating a customer, we will click on customer, then customer center, and from here we will click on new, and here we will click on new customer. And here we will write the name of customer or company to whom we are dealing with, and after filling all the relevant data you will click on OK. Now this is customer 1. Now suppose there is a company ABC company, and with that company we have a project, and how you are gonna add those projects or deal with those projects, let's see it. So first step is you will create the company with whom you have project or client name. So this is company 1, and with this company we have a project number 1 2 3 4. So you will just right click on that and click on add job, and here you will write the project name. So here you can see that with company 1 we have one project. You can have multiple projects with one company. So this is how you can create customers and projects in QuickBook Desktop. The next is estimates. How you can create estimates or the project values in QuickBooks. It is very simple. Just go to the customer and then click on create estimates. From here I will choose my project. Suppose this is a project of consulting and the total amount is 250,000. Okay. Just like purchase order, estimates are also non-posting items. These estimates will not affect your financial statements. So this is just a value or the project value. Okay. Once you will create the invoices, this estimates value will be decreased accordingly. So this is how you enter the project values in QuickBooks, by creating estimates. Okay, you can see. Now Let's create invoices and see how it works in QuickBook. You will click on customer, then click on create invoice. First I'm gonna create invoice for the inventory items, and then I'm gonna create the project that we have. Okay, so to customer ABC, I have sold item number 1 each on 25th of March. I will just click save and close. Alright, now let's go and see the effects. You will go to the reports, in the company financial and the profit and loss account. You can see that our sale has been recorded with 22,500, which is our invoice value. You can see that this is invoice 22,500, right? Our revenue is correctly recorded. Similarly, the cost of goods sold related to those items is also charged. If you see over here, these items which we are selling has a cost as well. So cost of these items are charged to the cost of goods sold. So you can see over here we have sales, we have revenue, and then we have cost of goods sold. Okay, and now similarly, if you go to the reports, company financial, in the balance sheet, you can see that in the balance sheet we have account receivable of 22,500. This is the amount that we are supposed to receive from our receivables from our customers. Let's see the effect on inventory because we had made the sale. If you go to the reports and if you go down and click on inventory valuation detail, you can see that let's understand the flow of item number 1. We purchased, if you remember, we purchased 100, 170, then we returned 20, we adjusted 55 items, and now we have sold this 50 with invoice number 1, and the remaining quantity in our hand is 195. The value is also adjusted accordingly. Similarly, all the effects are done in the other inventory items as well. Let's create an invoice for our project. We will just go to the customer and create invoice, and from here you will select the project, and once you will click the project, you will come up with estimate that you have already created. Just click on that, click OK, and from here you can choose different options, but if you have choose any option, you can amend the invoice as well. So this is just an option available with you. So again, I have selected 100%, but I have invoiced only for 150,000, so I have changed it manually. Okay, and after filling all other relevant details, just click save and close. So 15,000 is invoiced. Now if you go to the reports, company financial and profit and loss account by job, so in this way you can see your company information by customer or by project wise detail as well. Okay, and similarly, if you want to go to the reports, company financial and the profit and loss account, you can see that your revenue is, as we have divided our revenue, this is the sale from inventory item, and this is the other income which we are getting by providing consultancy services. So we are done with this. Now let's see how we will receive payments from our customers. It is very simple. Just go to the customer center and right click on the customer from whom you are receiving the amount, and then click on receive payment. Once you will click on receive payment, from here you will choose the customer, and here then you will select the invoice against which you are receiving the amount, If you are receiving the full amount, you will not change it. Otherwise, you can also change it. Suppose we received only 20,000 from this customer, though we have invoiced 22,500. Then you will click on save and close. Now we have received 20,000, but there is something. When you right click over here and receive the amount, what happens is that the amount directly goes to undeposited fund. If you go in the chart of account, you can see that this 20,000 is in our chart of account. So you can just right click over here and make deposit, and from here you will select your bank account and the amount will be transferred to your bank account. This is one way. The other way that I usually preferred is that I get the amount directly into my bank rather than going into undeposited fund and then making it a long process. So what I do is that I just go to the edit, click on preferences, click on payment, and from here make sure that you have unticked it. Use undeposited fund as default deposit to account. So once you will untick it, then at the time of receiving payment you will get the options if you want to get it into one bank account, other bank account, or even in cash in hand. So you will just click OK. Now again I will go to my customer center and I will make this payment. I will change this payment to my bank account, so it should directly reach to my bank account. So now I am getting this option. I will just select my bank account. Otherwise, if you have received cash, you can also choose the cash in hand as well. So I will just choose this and click OK. Now if you go and see in the reports, in the company financial and the balance sheet, you can see that your bank account has increased with 20,000, right? And similarly your accounts receivable has decreased with 20,000 because you have received the amount. Now if you want to see the status of your customers, how much amount you have received and how much is remaining, you will just go to the reports, click on customer and receivable, and then click on customer balance detail. From here you can see that from customer ABC, customer 22,500 was invoiced, 20,000 you have received, and 2,500 is remaining with that customer. Alright, now let's see how we are going to record sales return in QuickBooks. So for that, just go to the customer, then click on create memo, create credit memo refund. So suppose from customer ABC customer, we are returning this product number 1, 5 items, and you will, after filling other relevant detail, you will just click on save and close. Once you will click on save and close, you will get these 3 options. Either you want to retain it as available credit, or you want to give a refund, or you want to apply it to an invoice. So I want to apply it to an invoice. Okay, I'll just click OK and I will get the relevant invoice. So this is the invoice against which I want to apply. I will just click done. Okay, now if you go to the reports in the customer and receivable balance detail, you can see that, if you remember, we were supposed to receive from this customer 2,500, but after the customer has returned back the inventory that we have sold, we are now supposed to receive from him 2,000 only. Now let's see the status of our inventory. We'll go first checking that, go to the reports, click on inventory valuation detail. From here you can see that here is the outflow. First we have purchased these two 100, 170 we have purchased. This is the purchase return, this is the inventory adjustment, then we have sold, and then we have sales return, which is in positive. Okay, so again all the relevant detail are adjusted, quantity in hand and value are adjusted. So this is how you can record the sales return. Alright, now let's see how you will make statement of account for your customers. For that, just simply go to the customers. Then click on customers and receivables. Then you will click on customer and balance detail. From here you will choose the customer. Suppose this is the customer to whom we want to send the statement of account. Just double click at the bottom at the balance, and from here just choose customer. Now we have the name of that customer here and other relevant detail over here. Then remove extra lines by just scrolling them, okay, and all the information that you want to keep. Then go to the customize, and in the header and footer change, this is the name of your company, and here write statement period, and then you can make subtitle if you want and click OK. And then you can communicate this statement to the customer by emailing or by exporting it into Excel and PDF and then sending scanned copy. So this is how you can make, this is a very simple way to create a statement of account for a particular customer. Now we are going to discuss that how multiple users can work in QuickBooks. So for that, just first thing is you have to go to file and make sure that you have switched to multi-user mode. So once you have enabled the multi-user mode, you can always add a new user with limited or unlimited powers, what areas of accounting that user will enter and what areas that user is not allowed to do so. So how you want to do that, just click on company and you will click on setup users and password, and then you will click on setup users. From here you will click on add users. You will give the name of that user ABC and then password. After the password, click on next, and from here you will select the areas which you want to allow to that particular user. You will just click on next, full access or selective areas, create and print transaction, create reports, you want to view, click next, select areas, next, and finish. So in this way, that particular user will work only the specific area that you have allotted to that user. Now let's have a quick look on reports. Most people are confused about if they want to see a particular report or particular detail, how to do that. For that, I have a special tip. That tip is that if you want to see a particular detail, just go to the list. In the chart of account, you will see all the list of the accounts. So what you can do is that just simply right click on that and go to quick report. Once you will click on quick report, then you can click on customize, and from here you can select debit, you can select credit. After selecting debit and credit, you can see any report, or if you don't want to do the debit and credit, just right click on that particular account and quick report. You can see a particular report of that account easily. This is very short and precise way of looking at a particular account. Similarly, if you go to the list and the item list, if you want to see a detail of a particular item, just right click on that and go to quick reports. This is a very quick form. Apart from that, if you want to see the company financial, just go to the reports, click on company financial. From here you will see profit and loss account. If you want to see ledger wise, you will click on here. Project wise, you will see profit and loss account by job, then you will see the profit and loss by project. Similarly, if you want to see the profit and loss account by class, by location, by class, so you can select class. Similarly, for the balance sheet and balance sheet detail, you can see from here. If you want to see trial balance, you will just click on reports, go to accountant and taxes, and from here you will select the trial balance. and if you want to see the ledgers, you will click on ledger account. And if you want to see which user has done which entry, or if you want to trace out that, you can do that by just click on reports, click on accountant and taxes, click on audit trial. So in this way you will trace out the users and their working. So that's it. I hope you like this session and it has helped you. Please click the subscribe button for me if you haven't subscribed yet. Share it with your friends. Do like this video. Give me some motivating comments so I can release more videos of this kind. Thank you very much. Take care. Stay blessed.